Love&Soul è ancora in America, in California. Siamo vicino a Los Angeles, qui vicino c'è il parco di Disney e come vediamo dagli addobbi siamo sotto il periodo di Natale e andiamo a incontrare in questa bellissima casa una meravigliosa persona. Scopriamola insieme. Bentornati a un'altra puntata di Love&Soul, il talk show di MyLife. Oggi siamo ancora in America, in California, vicino a Los Angeles, nell'Orange County, a casa di una cara amica, che è Ibis Kaba. Ibis non è una scrittrice, ma è ben di più, è una organizzatrice di viaggi dell'anima. Infatti Life Journey è l'azienda che gestisce insieme al suo fratello George e Ron e organizzano le più importanti e bellissime crociere e tour in tutto il mondo con i personaggi dei nostri amatissimi libri. Ed è per questo che diamo il benvenuto a Ibis Kaba. Ibis, grazie per essere qui ospite con noi a Love&Soul.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. And thank you for coming and spending time with me in my house.
Oh, yes, in your beautiful, amazing house.
And this is mi casa, su casa.
Oh, this is so lovely. And we so much appreciate your friendship and your being so lovely. E come dice il titolo del talk show, parliamo di love ed in soul. Quindi partiamo parlando un po' di anima. Raccontaci, Ibis, com'è organizzare questi grandi viaggi con questi grandi personaggi?
Well, you know, I can't take credit for putting this on the planet. My brother George and his partner Ron, they started this company over 15 years ago.
Wow.
And they named it Life Journeys.
Yes, MyLife, Life Journeys.
MyLife, Life Journeys. And they started, this was an idea that came up really between Brian Weiss and James Van Praagh.
Wow.
So I always say that Brian Weiss was one of the ones that really started this company because Ron and George started doing events, but he said, let's do it not like at a hotel or at a convention. Let's do it like on a cruise ship. So we were like,
why not?
Ron was like, okay, because Ron was in the travel industry. He had his own travel company. So he said, yeah, we can produce a group. And they went to the Caribbean for the first time with Brian. And that was, that was 14, 15 years ago. And we still have Brian as a very good client. And that's how it really started. That was the vision behind it. And then my brother and I and Ron, we've always been very spiritual people, and we've always been very involved in the self-help from a personal standpoint. So for Ron and George, it made so much perfect sense to let's do something like that. So then I worked for HBO for many years, as you know, and when I left HBO, I went to work with them. And so I became a part of Life Journeys. And 10 years later, you know, I'm the executive producer for the company and the executive vice president of the company. But it just becomes more than that because it's really a mission for us. It's something that we live, we work it, and I produce, you know, I come from a production background. So my experience and my skills were perfect to produce events. Now on resorts, we do it at resorts as well. I just produced an event with Fox Television and Shine and Master Chef. Do you have Master Chef in Italy?
Absolutely.
With Master Chef. You know, there's in Italia, in Francia, it's in America, it's all over. So we did it here in the U.S., and the U.S. is the first one to have done a big event for Master Chef, and we did it on a cruise ship. And
you manage all of these.
And yes, and I produced the entire event with the chefs and the producers of Master Chef. We all worked together to you know, do 7 days of Master Chef for, you know, the fans, the people that just love the show. And they paid to be for 7 days on a ship and see everything live. So everything was live and staged, and we had cocktail parties, which is what we do. Because this gives you a little bit, it gives you a lot more interaction, you know, with the speakers, like, for instance, whether it would be Wayne Dyer or Brian Weiss or, you know, whoever it may be that, Greg Brayton, whoever it may be that we're doing. So it gives you more of an intimate and personal experience where you're up close and you're able to talk and you have your pictures taken, but more than that, you're able to have a conversation. Where are you going to get that?
So it's a great mix of a holiday, but even self-improvement and
correct. And that's what I'm at this point in my life doing this type of work, which is producing events for famous authors and also for you know, for Master Chef or you know, especially television programs, but being able to create a platform where people can be inspired by and learn from and have an experience that is going to empower them to do better. You know, to reach a different level for themselves and those that they love that they would have not gotten if they had not attended this event with people of like minds and hearts, that we can all bond and have that kind of energy that we take home with us. And be able to hear and be up close with, you know, people that will inspire you to be a better cook. And they're going to inspire you to cook more Italian food. And whatever it may be, you know, it's something different. Or they're going to inspire you to reach for your dreams. And that it's never too late. And that you can be whoever you want to be at whatever time you want to be it. You know, there's no deadline on your dreams or on what you can accomplish. And you know, I mean, I'm getting older, and
beautiful girl.
yes, I just fake it well. But I'm getting older, you know, and at this point in my life, you know, I want to do something that's meaningful. You know, it's not about the money, and it's not about, you know, it's about creating something, and something that's going to change lives and make you grow and make you have fun, because you know, this is fun events. You're not just sitting in a theater. All of a sudden you're in Napoli, and we're at the and we're in Positano, and you know, we go to Turkey, we go to Turkey, and so besides, if you're on a cruise ship or in a resort, you're on the beach, so you're having fun. It's not just all, no, I mean, you live your life. We're having a little cocktail, you know. So it's this type of joy that I love to put on the planet, and I'm blessed to be able to do so.
And we thank you so much for doing it so well.
Thank you.
I know that you are scheduling a lot of other events all over the world, Alaska and the Caribbean, but something is going on close to Italy.
Yes, you know, I've been to Italy many times, and Italy for me is really like a second home in the world. I just love to be there, and of course, I've met people that are, you know, we met through business or we met through in a trip, but they, like you and I, we've become family.
Oh yes,
you
absolutely.
know, I mean, my sister, you know, and so when I go to Italy, it's like going home for me.
Partecipare a un tuo evento è sempre una grande emozione, perché è un mix di crescita, di formazione, ma anche tanto divertimento. Vediamo insieme questo reportage della crociera ai Caraibi con Brian Weiss, da cui siamo appena rientrate. bellissime immagini, grandi suggestioni. Solo rivederle mi viene voglia di ripartire oggi stesso. So che un altro grande personaggio del self-help ha scelto Life Journey in esclusiva per organizzare le proprie crociere in tutto il mondo e stiamo parlando di Esther Hicks. Raccontaci come è nata questa partnership e come la stai vivendo.
Yeah. We've been very fortunate to have Esther as our partner. Doing these types of events. She is such a gifted human being, and we have learned a lot through her, and of course through Abraham, the teachings of Abraham. The whole power of intention, ask and you shall receive, and all of the wonderful books that they have come out with that has changed so many lives, including mine. And I feel honored to have been her partner for so many years. And she only uses life journeys to produce her travel tour events. And we've been all over the world with Esther. We're going to be going to the South Pacific. We're going to be going to Alaska. We go to Alaska. She goes to Alaska every year. She's been to Alaska 10 years in a row. And I always say, we're going back to Alaska? She always goes back to Alaska. She loves Alaska. And we're doing also the Caribbean. So last year we went to out of Southampton, in Europe. And we also did a full resort in Cancun in Mexico. So, it's just, we've been traveling with Esther for 10 years. And with Esther and Jerry, before Jerry transitioned. Jerry being a very dear friend of ours as well. And now, the Jerry spirit is still with us, Yeah. But we're just very fortunate to have Esther as our partner for over 10 years and as a friend.
Oh yeah, I saw her in London some years ago. It's goosebumps, how powerful and amazing experience.
She's the real deal. She's the real thing. And when you are going to an Abraham event, it doesn't matter if you're sitting in the seat in front of her, which is the person asking the question, right? When you're in the audience, you just learn something. It's like going to a psychology course. You just come out of there with so much knowledge and a better understanding of whatever it may be at that point in time that you need better understanding about. And she does that for you.
Oh, wow. And a lot of doctor, medical, high-level person in the audience.
Absolutely. I've always been amazed that all of a sudden I have a psychiatrist, and I have a couple psychologists, and I have, people in business, leaders that go to hear the teachings of Abraham, hear that collective higher consciousness that she channels, to be able to understand the human process and how to better help others and in turn help themselves.
Inizialmente nasci come manager della HBO, questa grande casa di produzione televisiva americana che ha sfornato tante serie televisive anche in Italia. Raccontaci un po' com'è stata produrre eventi in TV, produrre eventi di crescita personale. Hai trovato delle similitudini?
I've only had 2 jobs in my life. I was with HBO and Time Warner. For 20 years.
Wow.
And I loved it, I grew up in the company and grew up in terms of growing up as a person because I started when I was very young. I started as an assistant, a marketing assistant that you had to come in on the bottom floor, and became vice president later on of Time Warner. It was a great learning experience. I lived in New York City at the time, so it was wonderful to be around such creative people. And, cable television was new. Digital didn't exist. It was 30 channels. That was all cable television was. There was no satellite dishes. Oh my God, I'm sounding very old.
Come on.
There was no set. This isn't good. Cut the camera.
No, going on. You are beautiful.
So it was, so we only had 30 channels and we didn't even know how to market it. So I really grew up in the cable television business. And I, over the many years, I wore many hats. So I started in marketing, then I did promotions, then I did on-air and our on-air events. I learned about, filming and location. And then I managed people. And I learned how to, be somewhat of a leader. I don't know how how good I am or how good I used to be, but I think I've learned along the way. And I'm always learning. I'm still learning.
Always.
This is a process. I want to die and in my last moments still feel like I still have so much more to do or so much more to learn. But I was very blessed to have that kind of an experience and that kind of a life. I knew a lot of celebrities, I dealt with a lot of different people. It was a different era. It was a different world. It was I was very hungry, I was hungry, I'm still hungry, but I wasn't as hungry in terms of wanting to achieve and, no matter what I was going to do it. I'm not no matter what anymore. Now I'm like, is it worth it? Is it worth my energy? Is it worth my time? Sometimes I just prefer to walk away because it's going to make me feel better and bring me more peace than when I was younger, wanting to have a career. And, I was more confrontational. I was more of a, I was ruthless sometimes, I'm not like that anymore, and a lot of things have changed my life, so of course we grow. I'm a different person than I was at HBO, but I'm very, very grateful for that experience. And I would not be where I am today without having that knowledge, to create then these types of events for these types of people. And also now for television, because now we're also getting into MasterChef and television shows. But still our main goal and our passion and our main business is in the self-help industry, creating a platform for people to change other people's lives.
Wow, so I so much appreciate this, your passion, how you're doing that in a very, very amazing way.
Thank you, Sonia. And you do some amazing things as well. MyLifeTV, what you're doing now with Love&Soul.
We are inspired by you, really, so touching. You are such an inspiration for all of us, and this is why we thank you for sharing in Italy what all are you doing in your life, because by the way, you say you have two big jobs. Really, I know there are three, because you are even a great musician. I listen to you.
I don't know about a great musician, but music is my passion. Music is my therapy. Music is, I have a guitar. I have many guitars, but
I see a special guitar signed by
Fleetwood Mac.
Wow.
Yes, but I have a guitar that my mother brought for me from Spain when I was like 21 years old.
Ooh.
And I still have it. And I play, that's my favorite guitar. It's a Spanish guitar. And I play it often because that's how I unwind, and I write music. So I write, I write my music and I write my songs and I play the guitar, and it's all my friends, that have known me for years. when we're at a party, they're like, take out the guitar, you know, I'm like, no, they're like, yeah.
E ci faresti il grande dono di regalarci una canzone suonata live direttamente da te con la tua chitarra, per gli amici di MyLife, per i tuoi amici italiani.
Oh my God, but you know, I mean, what am I don't know.
Stay in the flow, so...
Okay, we'll see. We'll
Okay,
see.
I appreciate it. Let's go.
Esto es especialmente para el programa de Sonia Rossi, Love and Soul, para ustedes. My romance doesn't need to have a moon in the sky. My romance doesn't need a blue lagoon standing by. No month of May, no shining star, no hideaway, no soft guitars. My romance doesn't need a castle rising in Spain or a dance to a constantly surprising refrain. Wide awake, I can make my most fantastic dreams come true. My romance doesn't need a thing but you. My romance doesn't need a castle rising in Spain or a dance to a constantly surprising refrain. Wide awake, I can make my most fantastic dreams come true. My romance doesn't need a thing. My romance doesn't need one thing. No, my romance doesn't need a thing but you. My romance, my romance, my romance, my romance doesn't need a thing but you.
Il nostro programma si chiama Love&Soul e abbiamo parlato di sole, ora parliamo un po' di love, di amore.
Oh my, maybe I should sing another song.
Tu credi nell'anima gemella?
I think that people, yes, I mean, I believe in soulmates in terms, I do believe that people are destined to meet. You know, I have been destined to meet people in my life, you know, that I've loved. Friendships that I love. I think that your soulmates are not just maybe somebody that, you know, you have a loving partnership with, but it could also be friends. You know, you can also have a soulmate that's a friend. You know, you can have a soulmate that's a mother or a father. I think soulmates, you know, are many things. And I do believe that we are destined to meet some people that are our soulmates in all of those ways. And that you're really very in tuned with on a soul level, which is why right away you know, your heart and your soul
Yes.
gets that person. You get them. You understand them. There's something about, they mirror you. You see them and it's a mirror of you. You know, sometimes what you like in them, you like in yourself, and sometimes what you don't like in them, you know, is a reflection of you as well. And maybe something that they're here as teachers, soulmates as well, to teach us a little bit about ourselves, including, you know, finding somebody that, you know, you really mesh with, you really are in tune with. So yeah, I do believe that there's soulmates in our lives.
So che i tuoi genitori festeggiano oggi il loro anniversario del matrimonio, il 61esimo anno di anniversario, una data importante e simbolica. E so anche che tu prendi grande cura dei tuoi genitori, cosa che noi italiani amiamo molto e condividiamo. Raccontaci questa esperienza.
Yeah. You know, it's that chapter of my life that, you know, we all have to come to if your parents live long enough for you to come to this chapter. Sometimes I say to myself, "Estás loca? Were you crazy?" You know, but, you know, to live with them, you know, or I should say it makes me feel better, they live with me. I don't live with them, they live with me.
But this is so lovely, even because you are originally from Cuba, is correct?
Yeah,
And
born in Havana.
Oh wow! So like us in Italy, we take care of the family. So,
Us too. You know, in America, it's different. Americanos, they put many put their parents in homes. You know, some of them are very nice, but they put them in homes and they go visit them. But that's not how I was raised. That's not our culture. Our culture is we take care of our parents, like we did our grandparents, at home. So. My mother and my dad is 90 years old.
Wow.
And my mother is 88 years old. I was living in California, they were living in Miami. Too far. They needed their children, and my brother George lives 20 minutes from my house, so we're both living in California. It was hard to take care and manage their care 3,000 miles away. So I bought the Kaba Castle.
The Kaba Castle.
The Kaba Castle.
Wow.
And I brought them here, and they live with me. And I do have help. You know, I have a housekeeper that helps me with them.
And this
and
is
I'm very
so lovely.
Thank you. You know, I'm very blessed to be able to do that for them. And so I have somebody that lives here and helps me with them. You know, I can't travel the world like I do and work and come home, and, you know, so I do have help.
Absolutely.
And, but I have them here. So every day when I come home from the office or I come home or I'm here, I see them. And I can see how they're doing and take better care of them. It's been, you know, I mean, I haven't lived with my mother and father in 35 years. So all of a sudden living with them, it was hard. It was hard for me. And it was hard for them to live with me. I am sure. I am not easy. I am sure that my father thinks like, oh my God, what have I done? But
and they celebrate the big anniversary
today.
too.
Today is their 61st wedding anniversary tonight. So we're all going to dinner.
Wow.
Yes, all of us. Yes. And to celebrate 61 years, but they've been in love and soulmates for 71 years. Wow. So, and my mother, and they're doing okay for their age, you know.
They look gorgeous.
But, you know, they look good. But, you know, of course, you know, we have our challenges, as you do when you take care of parents that are elderly. My mother has Alzheimer's. And my father, you know, he has very bad eyesight, but they're so loved. And that's the deal. The deal is just to love them and give them a quality life. And I've learned a lot in these last 2 years. A lot about love and about patience, you know, and about giving back.
Wow.
So it's, you know, it's not the easiest chapter of my life, but it's one of the most fulfilling.
Meaningful. Wow.
You know, and then my mama and my papa, what am I gonna do?
Ibis, ti abbiamo fatto una sorpresa, scopriamola insieme.
Good. Que Dios me mandó estas niñas. Porque esto es precioso también. Y entonces, bueno, pues no queda más remedio.
My daughter is a wonderful woman. She's very hard, she's very intelligent. And she has a way with people. Because she's been used to sell the impossible. She's very trustful. She works. She's intelligent. She's very amiable. It all depends what subject we have in common or not. But I love her very much. We love you, Ibis.
Pero, love you, Libby.
Ibis. Very much. Very much.
Very much. Very much.
Okay, here we are in a big day, good celebration. Hello, hi, hello. A coffee time in a beautiful home with great friends and so on.
Yes. Okay. Hello there. Greetings from California. We've been doing these trips for spiritual authors and organizations for 20 years. So it's been an incredible journey. We've seen a lot of changes in people's lives. We've seen wonderful miracles happen. And I love it. It's my passion.
We started the company about 17, 18 years ago. Ibis came on about 10 years ago. She was a great asset. She worked great with Ron. They balanced each other out really well. I think she was a missing piece in all of our success into greater things. She helped take us there. We were ready for someone with her talents.
Well, it's an adventure. It's definitely an adventure. She's a wonderful person, incredible talents. I think we complement each other very well. And we're a great team together, for sure.
Well, you know, I grew up with Ibis being my sister. She left early home, always wanted to see the world, be on her own, very independent, very strong character. I lived at home basically till I was 30 with mom and dad. Ibis was basically out of the house at 18 and starting to see the world and make it. She went to New York to sing and pursue her music, which is really what Ibis will always be about, her music and her creativity.
And we each bring, you know, a number of things to the table that just work together very well.
She brought a lot of money towards AIDS and the funding of AIDS and a lot of hope. And she was a woman speaking out when people weren't speaking out and produced one of America's biggest fundraisers. And doing that basically on her own and just winging it and doing one of the best jobs they have done. Not because I say it, but because people have said it. And it is known that when she produces, she knows what she's doing.
And may we all keep growing and becoming better people and making the world a better place.
È molto bello il clima di famiglia che riesci a creare intorno a te e l'armonia e la gioia che si sente anche in questa casa. Parliamo quindi un po' di food, di cibo. Ti piace cucinare? Hai un piatto preferito?
You know, I do like to cook. I don't do it as often as I like, but I like having dinner parties. I don't like cooking for me or just me and another person, you know. If I'm going to cook, I want to cook for 10 people, you know.
Ibis always in a great style,
You
big
know, I
style.
want to cook for 10 people, you know. And, you know, for Thanksgiving, I love to cook for Thanksgiving. I like to cook all the Thanksgiving, the turkey, and I like to cook, you know, a Christmas Eve dinner.
Now we are on Christmas time. And
Which
so
is Christmas time here now, you know. So, and for Thanksgiving, we usually do it very American style because Thanksgiving is an American holiday. And so, but for Christmas and Christmas Eve, we do Cuban food.
Wow.
So in Cuba, when we were in Cuba, when Cuba was Cuba, and we were in Cuba, we on Christmas Eve you would have pork, but like a whole pork, you know, or a whole, you know, leg of pork, big, and then we have black beans and rice, and we have something called yuca, you know, that you make with a garlic and olive oil and lime, and you know, fresh bread and butter.
And we have some food for the lucky style, like in Italy we have the lenticchie or grapes. There is some food that in the new year make you lucky.
Oh
here.
yeah. Oh, and for the new year, what we do is we have a tradition. So for when we're all gathered at 12 o'clock, okay, we have our champagne, and then everybody has 12 grapes.
Oh.
And so you have a little bowl with 12 grapes, and for every month of the year. And so when you toast, per each grape, you make a wish.
Oh, wonderful.
So we eat the grapes, and everybody's talking, but while you're eating inside your head, you're making a wish for the year. So you have 12 wishes.
Oh, good.
And then we do another thing that to take out all the negative energy of the year and bring up positive energy for the new year. I take a pail of water, okay, and I fill it with water, and I open my front door, and I just throw it out my front door so that it refreshes whoever enters, and it refreshes my house to the new energies that I want to allow to come in.
Oh, interesting.
And
really, really. But
so
if you're-
that's a Cuban tradition.
Cuban tradition.
Yes, that's a Cuban tradition.
And you do every year?
And we do it every year.
Wow.
We try to keep the Cuban traditions alive. But I love, you asked me, I love to cook, yes, and I like to cook for a lot of people. But I think I love Italian food, and not just because you're Italian.
Of course.
But I really do love Italian food. And I love Japanese food. I love Oriental food. I love Asian food, sushi. I love to cook with a wok, lots of healthy vegetables, and I love that type of food.
Ibis, cos'è per te la felicità?
Wow, that's a heavy question. What's happiness for me? That's a heavy question. You know, it's many things. It's like when people say, that one love of your life, that one person that's that one love of your life that gives you, everything you need, I don't think there's any one person that can give us everything we need. I think that many people give us many different things that make up the whole of what we need. My parents are one of those, my brother's another one, my nieces and nephews, are a very special part of my life. They're another one, the people I work with my colleagues, my partners, they bring a lot of happiness to my life. So, but the one thing that, there's so many things that make me happy, but I think at this point in my life, I think a positive outlook where, I really feel that I'm worthy. You know, I think many times in our lives we don't feel worthy. I've been through that, just like everybody else, you know. But I think that what makes me happy is the fact that, you know, I'm at peace, you know. I'm at peace with a lot about myself. And happiness means to me my parents being okay, you know, and being able to get up every morning with health and having my health and having my mind and my brain to be able to still do what I do and what I love, and playing my guitar, you know, and my music. So happiness to me is just being, you know, just being able to still live a quality life and being able to give to others, you know, because they give to me, you know. Happiness for me is not one thing. It's just many things rolled into one that makes it all worthwhile. And at this point in my life, I just want to have this ride, which can be a roller coaster.
Always with
and
you.
You know, it has to be sometimes. It's not, it'd be very boring. It has to be a roller coaster ride sometimes, you know, and I just like the fact that I'm still rocking and rolling, you know, and I still like to party and I still like to dance, and I'm still able to do so because of my health. So that's, you know, happiness is made up of many things, and when I'm not happy that day, I try to think of, you know, the positive side of things, and I look at my parents and I go, wow, you know, that's where I'm going to end up. So I better be living it right now, because that's where I'm going to end up. So I take it a day at a time and try to just to, you know, go with the flow and be as happy as I can be.
Wow. E hai rimpianti?
Many.
Just one.
I think I have more than one. You know, these people
I'm ready.
These people that say I have no regrets in my life, I don't believe it. I think everybody has a couple regrets, you know. I think that, but at the end of the day, I mean, you know, I don't know, do I regret not, you know, having more patience? You know, not at one point maybe have been kinder in my life, or, yeah, I mean, we all wish that we could, but any big regret of something I've done that's been really, not really, you know, I mean, you know, I don't have any big regrets. I mean, I wish that, you know, I would have been a rock star. I regret not having been a rock star and like play guitar for 5,000 people. You know, I think my biggest regret is the fact that I didn't pursue, honestly, now that I think about it, probably my biggest regret is that I did not pursue a career in music. It was too hard.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you don't have a plan B when you want to be a real star in the music industry. For everybody that's a famous musician or a famous entertainer, when I say, well, if you couldn't have made it in this, because there's a million great people, there are, and only a handful, very few make it, right? There are very few. Out of millions that are very talented. So I always would say, you know, if for John Mayer or whoever that I've talked to, I have asked, have you ever had a plan B? What if you wouldn't have made it? What would you have done? And they all across the board, all of them say, there is no plan B. For me, my career brought me behind the camera, not in front of the camera. But if I had one regret, it probably would be that I didn't pursue my music career.
Until now.
That I would have, until that I did not do more of that.
Ibis, ti ritieni più impulsiva o razionale?
I think I was more impulsive when I was younger. I think I tended to be more impulsive because I had a lot less to lose. And as we get older, you have more to lose. And
Oh,
so
I listen to the word
yeah,
older.
I
listen
as
to the
not older, but just as
Okay.
yeah. Whatever. You know, I think I'm a combination. I could be impulsive if I feel that something is right and I have to do on it right away, and I say,
During an event,
Yeah.
hey, come on.
the hell with it, let's do it, you know, because it's going to be fun. I'm impulsive in that way.
But intuitive in this way.
what?
It's a great intuition you have.
But I do. I get a great, I mean, I don't know if I have a great intuition, but I really tap into my sixth sense. So if something tells me do it, if I feel it's the right thing to do, I'll be impulsive and I'll do it because I'm feeling it, you know. But I'm also rational, you know. Some people come up to me and they'll go, "Oh, we want to do this," and I'll be like, "No," because it's not going to work, you know. So I tend to have, I think at this point I have a little bit of both.
Wow.
Not more than the other, just a little bit of both.
Cosa tiene nella borsa Ibis Kaba?
In my bag? What do I have in my bag? I don't know. Where's my bag? Where's my purse? I have credit cards. I have some money. I have some lipstick. What do you mean, what do I have in my bag?
Because, you know, when I ask to a man, what do you have in your wallet? Just money. And when I ask to the
Oh,
girl, what
that's
do you have
so
in the girl?
funny.
I have, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this.
That's very funny. Yes, I have a lot in my bags. I have my lipstick. I have my 3 lipsticks. I have my wallet. I have very little money in it. I think I have $2. I have some credit cards though, and I have my comb and my business cards and 3 lotto tickets. I mean, why not?
Yes.
A little lotto, why not?
E ora il domandone finale di Love&Soul. Spesso le persone pensano che i grandi personaggi abbiano grandi sogni, a volte è vero e a volte no. Sentiamo, qual è il grande sogno di Ibis Kaba? È un sogno grande o piccolo? È un sogno del cuore o dell'anima?
Are you Daria Vignata? I feel I'm being interviewed by Daria Vignata. But you're Sonia Rossi.
Love&Soul.
Love&Soul. That's, ask me that again. I don't know, I think one of the things that I would love to do, I want to make a CD of my music that I write. I've made some recordings, but I really want to make it into a CD. So that's one of my goals. My goals is to make a CD of my music.
That is amazing.
And that's always something I wanted to do. So that's one of the things I want to do. And I think that is from a soul level, you know, and to keep writing. But that's really, that's something that has to happen, and I want it to happen. The other thing from a soul level that I'd like to do is I want to go back to Cuba.
Have you ever been from when you...
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Wow.
You know, we were very, my family was very destroyed and devastated by the revolution. And so we came from Havana, from Cuba to the United States. And that was, I've been here 50 years. For me, and I came as a little girl, so for me, I would like to go back and touch base with that child and have a little closure to my memories.
How old were you when...
I came when I was 6, and you know, I came without my parents at that point in time. My parents came later on. I came with George, my brother, who was 18 months old. And we came here to live with my aunt and my uncle who lived in Chicago. He was a doctor in Chicago. So, but I was, you know, the whole experience of being in exile in a different country and it changed our lives. But this was our destiny.
Yeah.
You know, so I embrace it. America's my home, you know, and I am a Cuban American. But I think one of the things I'd like to do, you know, is touch my homeland and touch my place of birth and be able to go to Cuba and see my country, you know. So that's, on a soul level, that's something that I plan to do next year.
And on the love side?
On the love side, that's a loaded question. I want to continue to have fun. I want to continue to have fun. I want to continue to be able to be healthy and live my life and still produce, you know, for people that I love, and travel the world, and you know, be able to have someone special, you know, and share my life with those that I love.
Beautiful.
That's what I want to do.
Grazie Ibis, è stato toccante ascoltare le tue parole, sono certa che sono stata una grande ispirazione ed ora in poi, quando faremo un viaggio life journey, perché lo faremo, apprezzeremo ancora di più la bellezza di questa esperienza, perché sappiamo la passione, il cuore, l'intelligenza, la creatività di questa grande persona che è Ibis Kaba. Grazie per essere stata con noi, grazie.
Thank you, and thank you so much for having me on your show and having an interview and this
honor.
interview, and you know, you are such an inspiration to all of us, because you know, Sonia, you have put on this planet, you know, Life TV, MyLifeTV, and you are an Italian publisher for so many books, and you are changing lives, and you are doing something that is meaningful.
Wow.
And you know, if there's one thing that should be the biggest quest that we have in our lives, is to have a will to meaning, a will to be meaningful and have meaning, not just for ourselves, but with those that we touch on a daily basis. And you touch so many people on a daily basis. And you just not only do this for a living, but I know you, and I know that you live it. You believe in it. You are inspired by it, and you carry yourself in a way that you really do live your truth. And
This is your talk show,
you're
not mine,
you're
but anyway.
you're living your truth, and you
Thank
have
you.
to, and you
Thank
have
you,
to, and
Ibis.
thank you for doing that for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you.